Right, good morning everybody out there in YouTube world. It's Dan from Dan's Haunted Cottage reporting in here. And today I'm off on an investigation, but it's not just any old investigation, it's a very exciting investigation today, because this is a building that I've tried to get into for many years. The reason I didn't get access to it, I could have got access many times prior to this, but it would have meant going along with a group of people who pay their money and they basically get what's called a fright night. We call it in the business a fright night. So it's not a professional or properly conducted paranormal investigation. It's just members of the public that go and they pay their money and they basically get some sort of titillation. Not my field, I'm afraid. So it's taken me years to get to this point, and today I'm happy to report that I'm going with my team, and my team, or I'm a member of the team, we are Ghost Quest, and you can find us online. You can find us because we are a YouTube organisation. We do YouTube television, if you like. So the ancient ram is fantastic. It dates back, like the name suggests, it's ancient. It's about, well, I think it's over 1,000 years old, and it's got a lot of history attached to it, and most of it is paranormal. There's a witch's room in there, there's a bishop's room in there. The bishop's room was said to be only inhabited by the bishops. And an actual little nugget of information for you: the pub itself, or the public house itself, used to house slaves, and it used to house workers, artisans, what have you, that were actually building the church that is more or less next door to it. So there's a lot of history from that. There's also a witch, I believe it was the 1500s, yes, it was in the 1500s. She was executed because she refused to believe in the Bible. She didn't believe in the teachings of the Bible, and she sort of acquiesced from subscribing to religion, and because of that they killed her just outside. She's said to haunt one of the rooms there. I think that she was actually kept there prior to her being executed. And there's also an incubus and a succubus, which are sex demons, for want of a better description. These are the demons that are said to come to you whilst you are in your slumber and copulate. I think is probably the nicest word that I can think of to describe it. Copulate with one, and you know what? I'm going to leave the rest up to you. I'm not going to go there. You know, this isn't a biology lesson for demons, stroke entities, stroke humans. This is a paranormal investigation. But if you want to know any more about incubuses and succubuses, they're male and female sex demons, and that's all I'm going to say, really. What else? There's just a lot. There's a guy called John who bought it in 1968, I think, and I think he paid about £2,600 for the building, and he resided in it for 50 years, and it was quite derelict. It was just falling apart, and John had a plethora of paranormal activity happen to him in there. Sadly, John recently died, so it'd be interesting to see whether John's spirit has taken up residence with the others, or whether he's just gone to greener fields. I don't really know. But John was a big part of the building. The big building was a big part of John. So I'm assuming that one would be hard to be parted from the other, because he genuinely loved the building, and I'm sure the building felt the same about him. So yes, there's lots of activities, very well documented, lots of historical data backing some of the paranormal activity up, and that's it. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to go underway now, and we're going to get there. So we are off to the Ancient Ram Inn in Gloucester. Speak to you when I get there. Cheers. Oh, by the way, do you like the new glasses? I think they're very Kiri Grant. The glasses, not me, obviously. Speak to you. Right, so I've arrived at the Ancient Ram Inn. The boys are here. We're all getting prepared to go in. We're a little bit early, but there she is, the building herself. Let's see if we can get a ram in. So we're getting prepared, getting our kit together, and I'll speak to you when I'm inside. See you in a bit, guys. noticed about the ancient Ram Inn is if you look above it, you can see that there are pylons, but there are posts with wires going across them. These are electricity, and they carry lots and lots of energy. And of course, this can be responsible for many things. It can be responsible for feeding spirit the energy, which they need to become very active, which is why this place might be very prominent in this activity. It can also open up the human mind or human brain to hallucinating, so seeing things that aren't there. Or my theory is that it could possibly open up the human mind to see things that are there, but are just beyond our reality. So maybe this is a couple of the reasons why there's so much activity in this property. It's also said to lay directly on a ley line between here and Stonehenge. It goes directly from Stonehenge through this building. So that's another believed to be energy line. But I'm talking about bona fide 100% energy from those wires up there. So that could be causing a lot of the activity or perceived activity. And another thing that's interesting is the K2s and the EMF machines that we use for picking up on stray energy could possibly be getting false positives through these, because these could be giving it, well, they could be setting them off for no particular reason. The energy could be coming from these as opposed to spirit. Or spirit could be using these as a channel, as a way to get through into this building. Who knows? We'll have to find out in a minute. But let's wait and see, shall we? Right, guys, as you can see, we're at the ancient Ram Inn, and we arrived here probably about an hour or so ago. We've had something quick to eat, and then we're going to go into setup. We're not allowed in for another half an hour or so, so we're doing the outside shots and giving some information on the property, on the building. Now, as I said, this building's 1,000 years old. Lots and lots of history here. Normal history and paranormal history, lots and lots of activity. As I said prior, there's an incubus in there, apparently a succubus, which are sex demons, for want of a better description. And there's lots and lots of things going on there. Apparitions, noises, bangs, disembodied voices, voices that are caught on EVP machines. Just wait for this car to go past, I'm sorry about this. And another thing about this building is that it's actually built on a pagan burial ground. So, lots and lots of interesting factors to this property. So we'll go inside in a bit and we'll see what it's like inside. When John had it, there was lots and lots of stuff in there. It was like a little bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a gerbil run really. But it's been cleared out sadly since he's passing. So we'll see who's in residence, and yeah, we'll just see what's going on in there. Speak to you in a minute. Cheers, guys. Right, guys, we're about to enter the ancient Ram Inn. The noise you can hear behind me is Gary. He's taking some drone shots, so he's taking some footage from up above for the video. And this is the back entrance to the ancient Ram Inn. Now, the guy was telling me earlier that apparently the Pilgrim Fathers left this building on their first voyage to the United States. And when John was alive, he used to have the Stars and Stripes actually hanging or fluttering on a flagpole over there somewhere. So as you can see, this place really is just drenched and dripping history. Let's go inside, shall we? Right, guys, we're just going into the front door now. So this is the porch at the back. Just going through. This is it. We are in the ancient Ram Inn. You guys don't know how long I have wanted to get into this building. Just have a look at this. It smells very, very musty.
Right, guys. Ow, sorry.
You can taste the history from it.
Sorry, mate.
It's okay, bud.
Down.
Right, guys, we've just gone in. Ben and the guys have just gone in prior to me. They've come rushing out. They've told me that there's activity in there already. They've heard a bang. They've heard footsteps from upstairs. So we're going to proceed inside and we're going to get on with this investigation. Hopefully, this property will turn out to be as haunted as its reputation suggests. Speak to you. Right, guys, so we've been outside prepping. There's been disembodied voice heard by Ben as he went inside. He thought it was one of us, but we were outside, so we've been sorting out cameras and getting our equipment ready to go in, and we're just about to go in fully now. So I'll turn the camera around. Right, guys, so we're now going in for the second run. The boys are taking the cameras in.
John's jacket over there.
Yeah, John's motorbike jacket's hanging up.
Some guys just want to come in front of me, with me.
Okay.
So we've always got everything in camera. Who said hello to me when I came in before? heard you. This place is creepy. So we'll quiet for a minute, guys. Come in. Is the door shut at the front?
Yeah.
Are there any spirits in here with me right now? Can you please make a noise for us? What's that?
What is that?
Sounds like is it not a clock or something like
It's like.
Oh, okay.
that? Yeah, so bear in mind, noises
Yeah.
from there.
He was running round upstairs before.
Right, so here, guys, this is a grave. There was bones found in it, and they believe that they were sacrificial bones. They're not too sure, but they date back to the times of the pagans, pagan period.
Hello? That was on before, wasn't it? How far was it downstairs?
Yeah.
So this is the bishop's room, guys.
So look, guys.
This is one of the most notorious rooms in the building.
Oh wow.
We're on the actual
Lots of
road.
activity
So this
here.
is right next to the road.
Is anybody not this time?
It's not too bad up here, is it, at the minute?
Pardon?
I'll be honest with you, for me, downstairs felt more ominous than it does up here.
Mm.
Right, so the boys are leaving the bishop's room now, and the thing about this room is this room was reserved for the bishops that used to stay, that obviously were part of the church that was built by the stonemasons and the slaves that lived here at the time, 1,000 years ago. But this has always been the bishop's room. Around this building is full of curiosities, absolutely rife, and it's a very, very, I mean, if anywhere swears or shouts haunted property, it's definitely this one. It really, really does look the part. Right, so this room that I'm in now, guys, the boys are just leaving it. This is the witch's room, and this is where the lady was kept, obviously prior to her execution, and she was hanged, I believe, outside of this very building. And this was the room that she stayed in, or was kept in, as a prisoner. It's just, it's like every step you take is a step through history. I mean, there's thousands upon thousands of artifacts in here, so we don't really know if there's any energy attached to any of those. So it might not just be the property itself, but the energy might be coming from some of the odds and sods and the artifacts that John or whoever has collected over the years. Just amazing. Right, so Will's going down the stairs at the minute. We've got to do it very, very gingerly, because these stairs are like a ski slope, and the problem is that apparently there's been a history of people being pushed on these stairs as well. So if you combine the two things, it's not going to make for a, it'll make for a good video, but it won't make for good good anything else. This is the barn, guys.
Who whistled then?
I heard that.
I didn't hear it.
Whistle.
I heard a whistle.
I didn't hear it.
Did you just take a photograph?
No video.
Did you just make a noise?
Did this?
No, that was a whistle. That was a whistle.
No, I heard a whistle. It was like.
I didn't hear that.
That's what I heard.
If that was you, can you do it again, please? I swear there was a whistle. That'll be caught on the camera as well, it will.
I thought I heard a whistle.
If you heard that, then that's on
So
camera.
if that's not ominous, guys, what is? It's quite a creepy looking thing, isn't it? So so let's, and right just above the grave site where those three individuals were found, sadly. So we'll just crack on with it in a minute. So what you just saw there, guys, was a preliminary walk around. That is part of the investigation, but it's not the actual investigation itself. The investigation should be starting any second now. we're taking all our equipment in, we're going to set ourselves up, and we're going to begin the investigation in earnest. So hopefully we will get quite a bit of activity. Here's hoping. Can't promise anything, as I said before. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Going to be completely honest with you, not going to lie to you, make things up, because that's not the type of investigator I am. That's not the type of ghost hunter I am, and that is not the type of channel that I want this to be, and it's not going to be like that. It's going to be as honest as it can be. So we're just about to go in, as I say, and we're going to start the investigation in earnest. It was quite a good preliminary walk around, and it gave us a feel for the property. And we went in there as a team. It's just pigeons, nothing paranormal there. And it gave the team a feel of what it's like inside. So it's good. It's good. Speak to you in a minute. Right, so we've just brought the equipment in, and we're setting it up at the moment. I'll just switch you around so you can see the type of things. Here's some of Gary's stuff, some of my stuff. I've got the ghost pool with me tonight. Gary's actually sorting out the SLS camera. That's the Connect camera. That's the spirit tracker. He's got a infrared camera set up there. I've got my IR camera here. There's another IR camera there. We've got quite a lot of equipment with us. Tons of equipment in actual fact. Everything there belongs to members of the team, apart from the TV, obviously. So yeah, so we've brought quite a lot of equipment with us because we mean to hit this hard tonight, because it's one of those buildings that you don't really get many opportunities of doing, and the only way that you can really do it is with members of the public. And as I said before, they're like fright nights, and they're not the greatest things to do because it's not a real ghost hunt, it's just for titillation. So it's great to be here with the boys and doing it as a professional team, and hopefully getting some more activity. And I say more because the boys have experienced things, as I said earlier. They picked up on whistles, and I think it was a knock, a lady's voice saying hello, and just did bits and bobs. So it'll be interesting to see how the night transpires. So yeah, it's an amazing building, and yeah, it's all good. So we're it's a countdown now. About another minute or two, and we'll be we're the primary equipment already, and we'll be good to go. So join us on this amazing ghost hunt. As I said earlier, it's like a paranormal investigators' Christmas here, or all their Christmases coming at once, because it's a really exciting property to be investigating. Right, so just get some more footage around here, guys. As you can see, Ben's filming there. He's just doing some basic shots. And, Gary there and Adam.
Hello.
We go through here.
Right, coming upstairs.
And we're going to do here. Through here is the barn that we were in earlier. I'm not sure what this was. It's pretty amazing, but the further in I go, the further away I get from the team. And that's good, because generally, if something's going to happen, it happens to individuals when they're on their own and cut off. Right, that noise, that cracking noise, you can hear a car outside. You can also hear this board I'm walking on, which is a door. So that's creaking and cracking. So we'll come back in here again. Back through here. Not sure what this little area was. But, and that would be the front door to the pub. It was the original entrance.
Show Adam its respect. Right, whereabouts?
The door.
And again,
Actually on the door this side.
to the stairs and to the back doors, as was. So look, if you can see the skeletal tracker, it's tracking something that isn't there. You can't see it with the naked eye, but we're picking up something that's being tracked by the SLS camera, and this is what we use them for. So the possibility of that being a spirit, well, I'm not saying it is a spirit, but there's a strong possibility that it might be.
There's nothing reflective on it, is there?
No. So Adam, would you mind walking back into that shot again, please? Just so we can see if we can pick both of you up. So, it's not picking Adam up at the minute though, is it? Okay. So it's not picking Adam up.
Trying to touching your head, Adam.
Something's touching Adam's head. You can see it there on the skeletal tracker. I don't really know what to make of that, to be honest.
It's lying down.
It is interesting. And it is a separate, if you like, it's a separate
Just pan it like that.
energy or entity. Ah,
So you've got Adam there, haven't you?
so you got Adam there now.
So come away, Adam.
So
Now it's gone. Now
now
it's
it's gone.
So it was there.
So it was there. So there was definitely something there.
Did you hear that? No one
No,
hear that?
didn't hear that.
Over
Was
here.
that over here?
Over here.
Didn't hear that, mate. Could you do that again, please? Could you make that sharp intake or breath again, please? So that we can hear you and pick you up.
What was that? Did you not hear that?
No. No, just can't.
Did you hear that through there, guys? I swear it's like a boo-boo.
It's a REM pod there, the middle barrel. As I said, that picks up on the electromagnetic field. So if anything or energy-wise goes close to that, that will set off.
The camera might have actually picked that up, Dan, if anyone
Yeah.
heard that. Like a whoop.
Yes. If anybody heard that, you can write down in the comments. That would be great. We'd like to know if anybody heard that off camera.
Got something?
Because Ben definitely did.
What about you?
I didn't.
He's sat in bloody chair.
So there's another energy there.
That is actually bent over and sat in chair.
Which chair is it? That
Sitting
one
in the
there. It's that
chair.
one next to you.
So these are what we think are spirit forms. We think the SLS camera has the
You brought your
ability
balls
to
with
pick
you?
up on them
No, I forgot
and
them.
track them.
Is that on?
Yeah. Oh, he's gone now, but
Now he's gone. But I'm sure he will be back a little bit later, hopefully. So Gary's got the energy back on screen there. You can just see that.
swinging its legs there.
Swinging its legs there.
Place, isn't it? It's like it's set down.
It is.
Could be John.
It could very well be.
Is that you, John?
To be an EVP device.
Just go over to that device on the chair. Make the device go off. Just touch it. Put your energy into it.
Could you wave at us, please? Could you wave your arm to us, please? Give us a wave.
Keep an eye out.
I want to like live here for 2 days.
So you can see that there's nothing there
No.
on the tracker. Sorry, Gary. On the tracker, it's picking up. It's picking up a. It's tracking a person.
Yeah.
Put his leg out.
Could you stand up for us, please? Would you mind doing that, please? If you can hear us, could you lift your arm for us? We'd really appreciate that, please. That's if you can hear us, actually. If you're aware that we're here. As you can see there. But nothing there. So. Right. Well, he's definitely active, isn't he?
He's still there.
Yep.
He's not moving.
Looks like he's drumming or something.
Could you tell us your name, please? My name is Dan.
Why does it look like he's playing guitar?
I don't know, he does, doesn't he?
He's like tapping his foot and he's like...
Yeah, yeah.
See, now I don't think this is place memory, guys, because place memory wouldn't hold that kind of, well, you wouldn't get that image from it. So it's got to be something that's active and intelligent and right there in front of us at the minute. Because memories don't show up like that on equipment. It's got to be active and intelligent. Well, I'm going to sit over there next to you if I can. What seat is he on?
That one of the REM pod is.
Right, okay. Right. Hope you don't mind if I sit down next to you. Do you mind if I sit over here? Excuse me. Oh. Is he still there? Is he gone, is he? I'm going to give it a few seconds and see if he retwines.
Maybe he's sat a bit close to where... he was.
It was that chair before, wasn't it, that was... Right, okay. Was that you, John? Was that you sitting in that seat next to me? Or is it somebody else? Is it somebody else's energy? Anything, Gary? No? It's quite odd, isn't it, that when we go into their space tonight, they tend to leave. So we'll see what happens next. I'm going to shut off and we'll see what happens now. Anything? No?
I wonder if you maybe moved into one of them chairs.
I'll try, yeah, I could try it in a sec.
And then
Let's
you
try.
may be a bit too close to him for his comfort and he's disappeared. I don't know.
It might be, it might be. Let's give it a go. Let's have a go. Let's have a go. He's back.
Yeah, he's sat on the chair.
Which one?
That one.
Can I sit back? If I sit back there.
No, just sit there, yeah. So it's got you.
So you've got me on the tracker.
Yeah,
You got us both.
Yeah.
So what's he doing?
same thing as before.
So he's just sitting on this chair. So we believe that there's the possibility that there is a
Lounging back.
spirit. Is he lounging back? Is he?
Seems to be doing
There's a
something.
spirit or an energy sitting on this chair,
It's as though
and I am right next to him. We believe the spirit to be sitting on this
they're
chair.
cleaning glasses or something, I don't know.
So what does he look like he's doing then, Gary? Is he still here?
He's still there, but you've disappeared.
I've
You
disappeared.
don't exist, mate.
Do I not?
You can see you on screen, but you haven't been scanned live.
Am I showing up again?
Not yet, no.
Is he?
He's there, yeah. He's sat there lounging about, doing his own thing.
So you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be John, does it? It doesn't even have to be. It could be just somebody who's a local and drank in here regularly, or an old landlord.
I think the building's nearly 1,000 years old.
Well, yeah.
It could be anybody.
Yeah, it could be anybody. You know,
Anytime.
a lot of people automatically jump to the conclusion that it's X, Y, and Z, but it doesn't have to be.
No.
I mean, he just could be friendly and
Yeah, it could be just it could be just interested in what's going on.
give us a wave. Please. Just wave like this.
I'm trying to wonder if it's an intelligent spirit or not. I don't think it is, you know.
For it to show up that signature, it's
Yeah.
got to be,
That's it.
because a memory wouldn't show a signature like that.
So
because
residual.
residual is just a memory, isn't it? It's a place
Yeah.
memory, so it's like a video
So it
recording.
won't map that then.
No, not really.
Right.
No, I don't think so, because it has to be intelligent and it has to be of the moment for it to pick up on it.
It's
Yeah.
like it's,
So it has to like real time. It's like real time. Is that where he is?
He's got his arm up like that, like relaxing.
So it has to be caught in like real time,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Weeing. Hey? Nobody. Really?
Right, guys, they've gone outside. So I'm on my own. You can hear the boys upstairs walking around. Are you still there, my friend? Are you still sitting on the seat next to me? So the noises, the creaks and the bangs and the knocks and the voices, they're not supernatural. Well, I don't think any of them are. It's just the boys upstairs. It's a very old building. It's 1,000 years old. So lots of these timbers are creaking and cracking and bending and doing all sorts of weird and wonderful things and making some amazing noises. Anyway, I'll get back to you in a sec.
And I'll be able to see it better then.
Well, that's picking up something, isn't it?
That is picking up
That's high frequency,
5
isn't it?
milligauss.
Yeah, that's a high frequency.
Look, it's dying off. That's how the grave.
So that is a grave. So as Ben goes into the grave...
Are you capturing this?
What's that?
What is that?
I just heard like a noise
Where from?
from over there.
Go with this.
So there's the grave. So
That's
as
what it
Ben
felt
was in the
like.
grave with the Gauss
Got-
meter, it was
Please.
picking up on energy.
Right,
And then we moved it just outside the grave, it
Yeah.
stopped. So that's
Where's
telling
you,
in itself. Cleared up.
So that's me.
Oh, hang on, it's an old. Sorry.
Right, say where we are.
What was
That's a
that?
child.
There you
That's
go.
a child. I said.
Oh, I
I
thought it was a man.
No, it sounds like a child to me.
Does it?
I said to
Can I have it
Gareth.
again? Sorry, just sorry.
I could listen to this forever.
Yeah.
Sorry, let's just hear it again. Sorry.
Yeah, it sounds like a wheeze.
It sounded like a man,
No,
didn't it?
nobody's wheezing though. I know that. I would have heard that.
No, not us, but whoever's on that.
That sounds to me like a child. and
Sounds
it
to me like a
captured
child in
See,
the
it sounds to me like a man. Try it again,
Okay,
bud.
all
Try
right,
it again. Let's
let's
take
go.
it.
Look at another go.
Oh, hang on, it's an old. Sorry.
Right, say where we are.
What was that?
That's a man.
Child.
That's a
That's
man.
actually saying something as well, isn't it?
Could
you please say again?
Who was that?
What is your name? Where are you right now?
Can you hear what I'm saying about the people talking? That was me.
Is it me, or does there sound to be voices in between the voices,
Yeah, if you listen.
but low?
If you go back. If you listen, you can hear almost like a busy pub environment. Listen.
So we're looking at place memory.
Wait. Alright, hang on, past.
Down there, isn't it?
Yeah.
On camera,
I
he's
felt
got something grabbed his neck.
It looks like two fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, guys, we're actually getting some pretty serious
Yeah, man.
activity in here. How you feeling, Adam?
Well, it's
Not
funny,
good?
Just before
Adam?
that, when I saw
Adam?
a shadow twice go
Adam?
past the doorway. Adam?
Adam,
Hey,
how you feeling?
you alright, mate?
Jesus.
Should we go and see if Ben's okay? Did you see it?
I saw. It was funny because I was seeing something back in my eye that way.
Well, towards us.
No,
Well, behind you,
because
sort
Ben
of.
was sat there and I was seeing something, but I couldn't work it out. It sort of took my attention a little bit, but I thought, it's nothing, just a light.
And then he got
reflection.
grabbed.
And he got grabbed. But my video camera was sat next to him.
Guys, as you can see, it's really going off. Poor Ben's had his neck scratched. He got tugged. You see it on the infrared. So I'm just going outside to see how he is. I might stop filming for a second just to make sure he's okay. There's the activity in there is off the scale. It really is. You know, I'm not one for gilding the lily or running away with something that is, but it's just amazing in there and frightening at the same time. See, guys, we're all out here. We just had to get out. It's too cloying in there. It's too much activity going on. And it's getting to the point where it's stifling. So we've had to come out here. Poor old Ben's over there. He's over by the car. He's really shaken up, bless him. So we will be going back in, obviously, because that's what we do. But it's concerning.